we get stuck into fitting this water pump guard to this 2001 RM250. See how we go. So first things first, we're going to lay the bike over. Obviously, we want to get clear access to that area. You can't do it standing up, and obviously the bike's together. Yours won't be because you'll be doing it properly, unlike us. So we're going to lean the bike over. Easy way to do that. Pop it off the stand. Move it back. Pop the stand up out of the way and literally lean it down like that. That way, as you can see, we've got full access to the bike in that area. So we're going to have a look through and now try and see if we can't completely destroy this frame. Lucky Steve is just round the corner. On its side, as you can see here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this cool water pump guard and it's going to mount in this space here. They sort of sit just like that in there. Now they don't sit overly like this one. They weren't ever, like this one sort of, the Suzuki ones actually sat on a bit of an angle. They didn't sit like outright like that. So we're going to sort of hold it in place. It actually doesn't sit that great, to be perfectly honest with you. So yeah, it actually doesn't look that good how it's sitting. It sits quite a way away. Oh, no, maybe not. No, we should be okay. Like I said, these were all sort of stuff that was made, like the teams would make them in-house, so they weren't perfect. So you have to sort of look at it like that. It's not a billet thing. It's literally stuff that they would make as, you know, quickly laser cut, fold up and weld together in-house so they could get them on the bikes. You know, race bikes are pretty in some respects and not pretty in other respects. So we're going to start by fitting this off, see if we can clamp it in place, marking some holes, and then hopefully we can get this cool water pump guard in place. As you can see, there's like a little stair, sits over that. Okay, what we've done here, we're going to try and we've actually got some extra longer bolts that we've put through here, as you can see. And we've got the mounts or the bobbins that we're going to weld in. And we're going to try and sort of position it just off like that, where we want it. Tap it with a hammer and hopefully that'll score or mark the powder enough, the powder coat enough, that'll give us a witness mark or a reference point. So then we can go in and drill our holes and hopefully it should work. But this is just all part of the fun, really. So let's see what we... All right, guys, so as we're going through here, we're actually looking at using the King Chrome white paint pen marker. As you can see here, we're going to mark the back of the bolts instead of hitting them with the hammer. I don't like hammers when I don't have to use them. So we're just going to offer that up to there. See, and that'll leave at least one witness mark, which you will see shortly, that we can work with to get the rest of these holes drilled. As you can see, we've made 2 witness marks. One's sort of gone awry, but one's good. So what we're going to do is, if we've got one good one, we're going to actually completely drill off and offer it up and fit it, and off one, line it up. That way it'll give us something to sort of work from. Then we can drill through on the second one once we've got this thing mounted up. So we're going to use our King Chrome automatic center punch. So always super handy. Get it in there and boom. That'll make a really nice little way to get a pilot hole in so we can start drilling it out. We're actually going to use a King Chrome step drill. So let's just have a quick look at where that's going to sit. It's going to sit there. And then that should sit exactly where we need it to be, I reckon. Okay. All right, guys, so we've got our King Chrome drill, fantastic new power tools from King Chrome at the moment. So we're going to drill the back hole like we said. We're going to use a step drill initially, but we're actually going to get in there with some drill bits, get these holes drilled, and see how we can mount the rest of this up. You don't want the drill to walk around because that obviously causes all sorts of heartache. So now we're actually going to use a King Chrome step drill. As you can see, they sort of open themselves up all the way up. This one goes to 20. We're going to go to 14. So we need a 14 mil hole in this frame. So hopefully it doesn't go too deep. Actually, I don't think it might work. We'll see how we go. We'll probably get to about 10 or 12, and then we can probably go out from there on a slightly bigger norm. Okay guys, we've drilled our pilot hole. We've gone to the step drill, as you can see, but we've realized that the step drill is too deep for the tube we're trying to drill in. So we're only able to get to 10 mil. That's fine. So what we're going to do is swap out to a 12, then drill to a 13, and you'll see why we stop at 13 in just shortly. Okay, as you can see, we have positioned our water pump guard in place. As you can see, the bobbins, we had to make them so they sat off a little bit to the frame, because obviously this is straight through here, but the frame has a kick in it going this way. But there's a relief here, so we know that's where it needs to go. And it also sits, it doesn't sit flat like that, it actually sits over, which you can see. So we've just had to sort of tap it around. We drilled the holes undersized, so that should have been 14 mil, but we drilled them to 13, just so we had a little bit of tension on them so we can move it around without welding it. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to weld it in, or we're going to tack it first. Always tack, 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 check it, and then we'll pull it off, we'll tack around the top here, because what'll happen is as we're welding it, the heat will distort them, the bobbins, so we've got to be careful not to move them around too much. But hopefully we can get it in place. We use a brazing rod to get it in there with the TIG. We find the brazing rod actually is a little more friendly when it comes to areas that have got a bit of dirt and stuff. We should have gotten rid of a bit more of the powder coat off this, but that's okay. Like I said, we're just sort of wandering our way through this. We always, well, when it's my stuff, so yeah, I always sort of, when it's my stuff, always tend to rush through it a little bit. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm pretty confident we'll be able to get it to sort of stick in there, and then once we've got it tacked hard enough, we'll pull the guard off and then weld them up, and a little bit of paint, we should be good. Guys, and there you have it. We have the water pump guard in place, super old school, super retro. Love this stuff. Like I said, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, check it out. We've got some more videos coming. We're trying to keep some more content flowing on this channel. Thanks for watching, guys. See you.